It's only going to be the one and only. They only made 12 of those engines, and this is the only one that's ever been in a car. I get a lot of thumbs up, and then when you stop, it's like, is that illegal? And it's like, what do you, oh, it shines so much. And I go, well, then just don't look at it.
Have you taken this car on any kind of a road trip?
No. Good reason.
All right, what's that reason?
Well, when I first got it going, it got 3 miles to the gallon.
Oh.
Okay, so I've increased it 25% now. I get 4 miles to the gallon, and you figure it out, I got a 40-gallon tank. It's bare naked, man. It's the best way to have them.
Exactly. Hey everybody, this is Eric with another episode of What's in Your Garage. Today I'm with a guy named Jeff. He's a really cool cat, and we have an opportunity to video a freaking 1965 Shelby AC Cobra that's dressed up in polished aluminum. Yes, you heard that right, polished aluminum, and stuffed inside that hood is a freaking V12 engine. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna be knocking on the garage door here in a second. Here we go. Jeff, you around? Hey, 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 we have success. All right. Now, sneak it right there, right there. Jeff, good to see you.
How you doing, Eric?
Man, I'm great, bud. Thank you so much for the opportunity to check this out. And this is a 1965 Shelby AC Cobra. Potentially a new body, but manufactured by Shelby. Is that the story behind it?
Well, it's manufactured by the same guys that build them for Shelby America. You go and buy this aluminum car from Shelby America today, same hands put this one together. It's bare naked, man. It's the best way to have them.
Exactly. Cold start video time. Tell us a little bit about this car, how you came to acquire it, and then I have to ask the big question about the V12 engine in there. But
sure.
So when did you first get this car, man?
Well, it first was thought of in 2011 when I had the engines. I have 2 of those engines out of an offshore boat.
Okay.
And had to figure out what to do with them. And my 11-year-old son at the time says, "Hey, Dad, maybe one of those would fit in a Cobra." And that's how this came to be.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And now my son is almost 20, and the car's done.
Very cool, man. Right on.
Yeah.
So now, did you build the car like this, or did you buy the car? I think you mentioned you bought the car from Shelby. Is it right? Not Kirkham.
Well, no, it's a Kirkham Cobra.
Okay.
Okay. And the challenge was, as I phoned the Kirkham guys before they got real popular as they are today.
Right.
And said, I have a challenge for you. If you can fit my engine in your chassis, I'll buy the chassis off of you.
Really?
And that took several years to get that back and forth, and voila, they did figure a way to get this engine in this body.
That's pretty cool. Now, this is polished aluminum, and I know we talked before about this.
Yep.
This has got to be a bugger to keep clean, especially Arizona. We have a lot of dust and whatnot out there. I know you drive it once, well, not all the time, because you have some other cars you drive, but I know you drive it once in a while. It's going to be a bugger to polish those little stone dents and chips out of it?
Yeah. It's actually easier to keep clean than a painted car, because you just take and buff it down to 1200 wet paper and start laying a polish on it and take the chips and the dings out.
Really, that's pretty cool.
But it takes time, a lot of time.
I bet it does. Now, what is the number one thing about this car that you say is like, shit, this is my car and this is why I love this car? What's the number one thing?
It's only going to be the one and only. They only made 12 of those engines, and this is the only one that's ever been in a car.
Now, you said those engines came out of an offshore boat. I would gather, based upon hearing it, that it's an offshore performance boat. Is that right?
Well, sure. It was a Fountain Rough Rider. It was a 46-foot cigarette boat with twin V12s in it.
Wow. So can we take a look at the twin V12? Or
Sure.
The V12?
Well, sure.
Yeah. This is cool here, folks. I look at an engine as being the diamond in a setting, and this is definitely fits that category here. Look at this. That's 860 cubic inches right there.
Yep. Yeah, it's got a little more horsepower than that.
Does it really? What kind of horsepower are you putting at the wheels right now, or dyno, whatever term?
Well, it's detuned to 1,000. It was stock 1150.
Dang, dude.
So,
wow.
Don't need all those ponies, so I put a couple of them out to pasture.
Did you? That's funny. Now, this thing is crazy cool. Look at how far back there, folks. Look at this. It goes way back inside there. Now, what kind of is that? That's fuel injection. Mm-hmm. What kind of fuel injection is? Is that the I can't even think of it right now.
No, well, you probably never heard of it. It's from the UK, and it's a race-only system. It's from Pectel.
Okay.
And it's Crosworth related. And as soon as they found out that because it was in a race offshore boat, as soon as they found, I called them for some tuning advice. As soon as they found out that it was in a car that I have on the road, they hung up and never could get a hold of them again.
Oh, really?
So
that's
they say our systems are not intended for road use.
Goodbye.
So I had to do some search, and we got to figure it out eventually.
That's pretty cool. Now look at the size of these side pipes here. These are the collectors off the headers right here, and it goes down here. And look at the size of that pipe. Wow. That tire doesn't have any tread on it. Those are race tires?
Yeah, they're autocross tires. They're Hoosier autocross slicks.
Hoosier autocross slicks.
They're pretty wide. They're 345, so they're about 13 and a half inches wide, and they just have enough to grip the road with this thing.
Really? That's pretty cool. It looks like those are original Shelby rims. Is that right?
Well, they're original Shelby style, but they're from they're from vintage wheel, and they're 18-inch. The original ones are 15.
Okay.
If you notice, the brakes in there are small.
Right. Yeah, I see that.
I can still run the original 15-inch original Shelby wheels on there and still have those brakes. So that's why the brakes haven't been upgraded to that size
Okay,
rim.
so do you still have those stock rims and whatnot?
Yep, with the old billboard.
Very cool.
Billboard Goodyears and stuff. So it's all vintage. I got all that.
Very nice. Wow. So let's look around here to the front here. When you're rolling down the road, I bet you get just thumbs up and people looking at you going, oh my God, and they stop in the streets and yeah,
I get a lot of thumbs up, and then when you stop, it's like, is that illegal? And it's like, it shines so much, and I go, well, then just don't look at it.
Have you taken this car on any kind of a road trip?
No.
Okay.
Good reason.
All right, what's that reason?
Well, when I first got it going, it got 3 miles to the gallon.
Oh.
Okay, so I've increased it 25% now. I get 4 miles to the gallon, and you figure it out, I got a 40-gallon tank. So I got about a range of 130 miles to be safe before I fill up.
130 miles on a tank full of gas, 4 miles a gallon, 40 gallons of gas. That's crazy. So I understand that now, why he doesn't do that. This is nuts. And now earlier you mentioned that we might be able to take this thing for a ride. We're not gonna
I'm,
go for
I'm willing,
140
but I don't know
miles.
if you're able. You know,
Dude, come on now. Look at me. This ain't my first rodeo.
hey, you know, seatbelts in 65 were optional, just
Yeah,
so
I
you
know,
know that.
Look at the view of this. And look at the grin. Yeah. This cat loves driving this car. I just know he does. But then again, if I own this car, I'd love driving it too, just once in a while though, you know? All right, you ready? Let's fire this bad devil up. This is really super cool, man. This car is bad to the bone, but being in a Shelby AC Cobra, this is my first time being in a Shelby AC Cobra, and this is cooler than shit. This is the coolest Shelby AC Cobra I've ever seen, and I've seen hundreds. So what's it feel like having all that horsepower?
Well, it's just fine. You got to control it, though.
Yeah, you do. Hey guys, thanks for watching the last video. I hand selected a couple videos for you to watch right now. Click here.